Hi everyone and welcome to another super exciting edition of C4. Now this week it's super exciting because Stuart Wiggin, he's gone off to Anhui province, which means that I'm here with someone else. Let me introduce you to him. It's John Artman. Hello. Lovely to see you, John.
Do you always yell this loud?
I'm always so excited on the show, as our regular viewers, all three of them, will tell you. Now, you used to be on C4 in the old days, didn't you?
Yeah, back to C4.5.
To my left, it's John Artman. Hello.
Hey, Rob. I think most people would remember me the most from the old version of C4 by the little thing of me doing this.
That is also true, and most other people in the West will recognize you from the Austin Powers films. Anyway, shall we wrap it up and go to the first story? Please. Thor, the God of Thunder. In fact, this film is called Thunder God in China. What's the story about, though, John?
Well, the story is about, actually, a photoshopped poster at a cinema.
He's right so far.
Or as a movie theater, as we would say in the United States.
Okay.
When we speak American, because we speak American there.
You do.
And it's a photoshopped poster.
Oh, we've had that before. Okay, you're right again.
Thor is holding Loki.
That is absolutely right. Jane, played by Natalie Portman, has been replaced with Loki, and it now looks rather incestuous because dear old Thor is holding his brother close and lovingly.
Oh. I wouldn't say it's incestuous, but it's certainly out of character. As we all know, Thor and Loki are
fascinating stuff.
Are mortal enemies. I'm not sure which camera to look at.
Well, they're not mortal enemies. They're immortal enemies.
No. Actually, if you had watched the movie, which you haven't.
Oh no! Don't ruin it for me. Okay, don't ruin it. Otherwise, you're going to get such a slap. Okay, but
they're not immortal.
Oh, well, clearly that's ruined one of the plot
live a long time.
I'm going to slap the out of you. Anyway, John, it is lovely to have you on the show, so let's keep going on. Now, John, here's the poster we've been talking about. This one actually is the original Thor 2 poster that's been shown at cinemas around the globe.
And Thor is holding Natalie Portman.
He is. It's lovely, romantic. Now, here's the one that was shown for one day and one day only at a Shanghai cinema.
Yes, they replaced Natalie Portman for Loki. But, Rob, don't you think it'd be more interesting if we changed it up a little bit?
In what way, John?
Well, perhaps putting your beautiful face in the place of Thor?
Oh, I do suit the poster, I have to say, and I do like myself a bit of Loki. Oh.
And I think we could actually make a little bit one more change, because it would be more appropriate and more likely for you to be holding someone else.
Oh, now that is lovely. I'll tell you what, how would you compare Stuart Wiggin with Natalie Portman? Do you think that they are comparable?
No.
Okay, wrap it up now. Okay, well, thank you so much for that, John. We've got 3 more stories, so, it's very exciting. Next story, please. Stop. A mountain of rubbish. Why are we looking at this, John?
Are you sure?
It is a mountain of rubbish. You saw what I saw. Why did we see it, though?
We saw it because a place in Guizhou...
Or Guizhou.
Guizhou is they're passing out garbage bags to the people who decide to visit this national park because apparently the litter problem is just a little bit too much to handle.
Shocking. Now, I actually have the name of the park written here. It is called the Libo-Jiangjiang National Park.
Libo-Jiangjiang.
Okay, Libo-Jiangjiang. Okay, very exciting, giving people bags. Do you think there is a litter problem, though?
Number 1, that's not very exciting. Number 2, yes.
Okay, I've listened to your show, John, and that is exciting. So, what is the litter problem? Tell me more about it. We like details here.
Well, the problem is that in China, people do not have the some might say moral character. I would say they don't have the habit of properly disposing of their waste.
Okay, how do you dispose of your waste?
I usually put it into a trash bag.
Okay, that's very decent of you. And what do you do with that bag once the trash, Mr. America, has gone in?
I put it into a bin.
Okay, and then what happens to it after that?
I don't know.
It probably goes to a national park and gets added to the mountain of rubbish. But what about on the streets of Beijing? Because we live in Beijing, don't we?
Yes.
Okay, now, what about on the streets of Beijing? Do you see a lot of rubbish there?
Yeah, I see a lot of rubbish, actually. And in fact, it's gotten so bad that the official Weibo account of the managers of the Line 10 subway in Beijing have gone so far as to call the people who ride on that subway locusts.
Locusts? Now, I know what a locust is. It's a small beast that can be eaten by university students and appeared in the book of Exodus in Egypt. But what does it mean in this context, John?
In this context, it means that they are comparing the people who use Line 10 here in Beijing to the kinds of insects that come in, destroy everything, and then leave. Also,
like the aliens in Independence Day.
That too.
But, carry on, John.
And so obviously people are taking a lot of offense at this. Number one, because people don't like being compared to insects. But also because, what was it, 2 years ago, a Hong Kong daily newspaper compared mainlanders who come to Hong Kong and take advantage of the services there, compared them to locusts as well.
Awkward. Okay, well, let's not dwell on that too long, because it'll all be cut otherwise. But, John, do you think that the problem with litter can be solved with bags?
With bags? I think it'll raise a little bit of awareness, sure. But the question is, of course, you have your trash bag and you put your trash into that bag.
Trash bag.
What happens to that trash bag when you're done with it? Because the main issue is that we're talking about a national park.
They probably will slow down and throw it out the car window.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, you've never seen something launched out of a car?
No.
In rehearsals, you said you did. You're a liar,
no, I
and
didn't.
You're a swine, and you're
said
scum.
That.
Scum!
I
want Stuart Wiggin back. You're a swine, and you're slime. Well, next story. Shut up, please. A car. It's actually a song, isn't it, as well?
Cars.
I'm going to do it to my camera. Cars.
Cars.
Okay, it's a very famous song from 1979 by Gary Newman. Let's put the music aside. Oh, stop it. It's my show. Let's put the music aside. What do you want to say about cars this week?
I would like to say that in Beijing, they're going to further decrease the number of new cars that are allowed on the road by up to 40% starting in January of 2014.
Okay, well, I actually have the figures here. Every year, they have 240,000 new license plates given out, which means 240,000 more cars.
That began in 2012, yeah.
Very true. And it's going to go down to 150,000 next year.
Indeed.
So, there we go. That's a big decrease. Now, this apparently has been done to reduce pollution and congestion. Let's start off with the issue of congestion. Do you think putting 150,000 more cars on the road will reduce congestion?
Why are you yelling at me?
Because I'm excited to have you here, John, because this is your one and only appearance on the show.
My only time to prove myself, that's true.
Yeah, you haven't done a very good job so far. No. So tell me, is it going to improve the congestion issue?
It certainly will decrease the likelihood that congestion will get worse.
Okay, so 150,000 will make a difference?
That is, of course, the question, because congestion...
That's the question I asked you, so answer it!
And that is, of course, the question. And obviously, I think, as we all know, as you mentioned before, here on this very show, we live in Beijing. And you and I, we've never actually had the opportunity to share a cab together, but I know that you've been in a cab.
I have been in a taxi, but I don't go out with you socially, which is why we've never taken one together.
No, we're not.
I'd rather go out with a corpse. But, yeah, so you think that might be a useful thing?
It'll make the situation less bad in terms of there will be fewer new cars coming onto the road. They're also coupling this with more and more tighter measures on the number of cars that are allowed on the road daily.
Tighter is better.
So during the Olympics, when they first started doing this, it was even odd. If your license plate ended with an odd number or an even number, you were only allowed on the road half of the days out of the week.
John, let me stop you there because it's my show. I've noticed a lot of the time when I walk down my road, even when driving around, I'm not driving, I see other cars driving.
Yeah, 'cause you can't drive.
I can drive, but I crashed into a ditch once in Minnesota
before.
And I've never driven since. But I've noticed that a lot of cars...
Was it a right-left problem?
Shut up! They take the number plates off and they drive around with no number plates.
Yes.
That's got to be illegal, hasn't it?
It is.
Okay, but why do the police do nothing?
You forget what police are for. Police are for stepping in and adjudicating or mediating when there's been a car accident, or if there's too much congestion and directing traffic.
Or if you and I were standing on the street slapping each other.
Yeah, well, maybe. Only if someone was actually hurt, and then they had to figure out...
It would be you.
So in terms of pollution, I'm actually quite skeptical about whether or not it actually is going to fix the pollution problem. Because if you live in Beijing, what you'll notice is actually that the best days in terms of pollution, the brightest, bluest skies, it's always when there's wind.
Those were the best days of my life. Okay. It's true, he's right. When there's wind, there's no pollution because it blows it away.
Where there is wind, there is a way, Rob.
Okay. Like having Confucius on the show, a little ginger Confucius mixed with Seth Green. Anyway, just shut up again. Next story, please. Okay, we've moved on to the fourth story, and it's a picture of some food. What is the relevance of food to this story?
Everyone likes food?
Everyone needs to eat food, except sometimes I read in the Daily Mail they've got some Indian guy that didn't eat for 40 years and he's still alive.
Yeah, apparently he lives off of his mucus.
Does he?
Yeah, that's what he says.
That's beautiful. Okay, well, John, let's put the Indian man aside, because this is C4, China 4, not I4, India 4, or ID 4, Independence Day. But what are we talking about food for? Come on, get serious.
A boarding school.
Boarding school.
A boarding school has recently forbidden their students from ordering takeaway.
Oh, what a fascinating story, John.
Actually,
I'm glad we ended with this one. It's the climax. It's explosive.
Delivery. Sorry, not takeaway. Delivery.
Okay. Well, no, they can't order, like, takeout, can they?
Yeah. So basically, before, they were allowed to call their local fanguar and get some gai fan delivered to their school,
Yeah.
but now they cannot.
Okay, so now they have to eat in the school canteen, which I read online is horrible.
I think most canteens are pretty horrible.
Okay, but when you were at
In
school,
China.
John, did you go to school?
Yes.
Okay, in the mountains, right?
That's where I went for university, yeah.
Okay, top quality education, but you actually went to little school in NYC, didn't
I
you?
think it's called elementary school.
Elementary school, Watson. So, tell us a little bit about, you've got an anecdote, I've got written here, John anecdote. I'm going to put myself to sleep, you tell the audience.
Yeah, that wasn't a very good transition, but
okay.
when I was 9 years old in New York City, I think the point here is, my question is, why can't they be allowed to go off campus for
Nobody
lunch?
asked you for a question, we asked you for an anecdote, so if you could share it.
I'm trying to make the transition that you did not make into my anecdote,
This is dragging on, I'm going to slip into a coma, just tell the story.
which is
Yep.
that when I was 9 years old, living in New York City,
You were touched
every
inappropriately.
Monday, Wednesday, and Friday,
You were touched
I
inappropriately.
went off campus
Touched inappropriately.
to eat pizza and
Inappropriately.
buy candy with $2.
Okay, candy being sweets, right?
Candy, yes.
Okay, I'm going to take you to my candy store.
Candy shop.
Candy shop. Oh, that's right, because it rhymes with lollipop, doesn't it?
It does.
Okay. He knows these
Well,
kind of things because he's well up on culture,
My
aren't you?
milkshake brings all the boys to the yard.
But tell us a little
ahead.
bit more why you think that kids should be allowed off campus. Because you shared this story. Thank you for that. It only took you 10 minutes to get to the punchline. You used to go off campus when you were a kid, when you were tiny.
I used to get off campus.
When you were
yes.
even smaller and probably more ginger, you used to go off for your pizza. You would come back to school in time for lessons.
Yeah, it was great.
Okay. Why do you think the Chinese kids aren't allowed to do this, though?
I really don't know. I think it has to do with the draconian management system.
Oh, big word. Oh, draconian. Okay.
The draconian management system that is basically
Clever.
top down.
What?
Top down and culturally inherent.
Okay, culturally
Endemic.
inherent. That's
Endemic.
Endemic.
That's the word I was
okay.
looking for.
Good stuff. Okay, I've lost interest, but this is the kind of thing you talk about on your show, right?
I do. Round table.
Okay, tell us a little bit. I'll tell you what. Everyone's watching this show.
Plug.
Would you like to plug Roundtable a little bit more? Tell them what Roundtable is.
Round table is.
Anyway, let's wrap it up now. If you want to follow the show on Weibo, it's down here. What about the email address?
It's down here.
Can you do it with more passion? Come on. Yeah. No, you got to do the slidey hand.
Ooh.
Okay, lovely. You can be a go-go dancer. And we'll see you again next week for more. What's it called?
C4.
It is C4. Bye for now. Boo!
So does this mean that I can replace Stuart? Because we're only taking like 20 minutes to do this. Usually it takes you guys like an hour.
Well, don't say you want to replace Stuart, because he's going to watch this, and then he's going to think I've betrayed him, aren't you? Stuart, I am not a Judas, okay? I am happy to have you on the show instead of this waste of space.
What about the gold I gave you before?
You didn't give me anything.
You didn't even buy me lunch.
That's because you haven't had another baby. I told you, every time you have a baby, you get a meal. You've had one baby, you've got one meal. Next time you have another baby, you get another meal.
Okay, great. Good. For the entire family.
Oh. We've had an absolute delightful time with you.
Why are you... The show's done. Why are you acting like this?
Still doing it for the camera.
Hamming it up.
Yeah, we've had a delightful... hamming it up. We've had a delightful time with John Artman. Thank you so much for joining us.
So is this going to be in the outtakes, or why are you doing this?
It's not going to be in the outtakes. I'm just, talking to you, okay? I'm still in TV show mode.
You're supposed to be talking to each other, not looking at the camera.
I don't want to talk to you. I'm talking to the camera. The show's over. John's got to go. He's not coming back. We're all going to celebrate. John?
And Stuart, there's no reason to be jealous.
Feel free to run into traffic.